High on your list of pet peeves, I'm guessing, is the beyond annoying propensity for ESPN to schedule programming to precede live boxing events, which bleeds into the scheduled boxing slot. Mine too, right up there with empty pens at banks and post offices. How many times over the years did we tune to ESPN for Friday night fights and were instead greeted with the fifth inning of a softball game? Short answer: too frickin' often. One would maybe think and hope that this being an enlightened age, that problem would be reduced over the years. But no. Seems like every time we turn to live boxing on ESPN, boxing is nowhere to be found. We find ourselves looking for a scroll on the bottom of the screen for insight. It happened again on September 22nd, on a top-ranked card topped by Oscar Valdez in the main event. Go to ESPN News, we were told, while we wrap up this Ultimate Frisbee match. Okay, no, it wasn't Ultimate Frisbee. But it always seems like it's something bleeding into boxing. The frustration erupted in August, I'll recall, when the NFL Hall of Fame entry show ran over. A half hour after the set start time for boxing, ESPN finally put boxing on, and on ESPN2, not ESPN. The ratings for the Vasil Lomachenko v. Miguel Mariaga show reflected that programming misstep. I touched on this burr in my saddle with promoter Bob Arum on this week's Talk Box. Could he please talk to the ESPN bosses about putting taped programming on before boxing, so no runovers occur? We're on an all-sports network, Arum answered. And sometimes, you're on an all-sports network, games go longer, you run over, but I'm grateful for the lead-ins. It's better to have some lead-in with sports programming people are watching than to have a lead-in with some damned entertainment series. Once in a while, they'll run over. And I'll have to change from one channel to another. It's not gonna happen that often, sometimes it will. For example, in November 11th, topped by Jesse Magdaleno, Jose Ramirez and Artur Beterbiev will come on after an SEC football game. Now, there's plenty of time for that game to happen, to be over, but what happens if it goes into overtime? It's live sports, man, it's live sports, you live with it. Message: get over it, there are other more pressing matters affecting the planet. Find your perspective compass, Woods noted. Also, Arum finished up with a tantalizing tidbit. Wed touched on what might be next for Terence Crawford, who'd just been voted the top pound-for-pound boxer on the planet by the Boxing Writers Association of America. Arum said he thinks Crawford fights next in February or March, probably against WBO welterweight Titlis Jeff Horn, who will take a stay-busy fight probably in December 1st. I'm just very bullish going ahead, the 85-year-old dealmaker told me. Terence Crawford, after he fights Horn, hopefully wins that fight, we're gonna look for guys like Keith Thurman, and maybe Danny Garcia. And, ultimately, I think there's gonna be a big fight in a year from now, or maybe 18 months, with Terence and Errol Spence. I think Spence is a terrific fighter, and he and Crawford could make a major match down the road.